My first spring in Andalusia has just ended, and it brought more than I've expected. But let me start from the beginning. I'm finally waking up to the room filled with sunlight, and some could find it irrelevant. But for me, this is a truly beautiful thing that brings the feeling something's changing. I know that talking about the time of the day as something really important might sound strange, but to me it truly matters. Maybe because for most of my adult life that I spent in my home country, I would finish working when it was already dark, regardless of the season, because I simply used to stay at the computer till late. And it felt like my whole day was around work, and what was left was just a tiny scrap that I couldn't even organize in the way I really wanted, and it bothered me a lot. And in here, in Andalusia, in spring, the sun sets at 9:30 p.m. and it makes a huge difference to me. I finally feel alive. I feel like I have time for my hobbies, for my little pleasures after work, and it's kind of a luxury to me. And to be honest with you, it was one of the main reasons we've decided to move to southern Spain. Spring has always been my favorite time of the year. And honestly, I was afraid I would lose it in here. In Poland, my home country, spring was the season I waited for all year. Everything suddenly turned green. Within 2 weeks, the landscape changed beyond recognition, and so did I. I have a theory that someone who grew up in a climate with 4 distinct seasons will always need them and seek them out. For as long as I can remember, the spring has triggered something inside of me. Ideas, plans. When we moved to Andalusia, one of my silent worries was what I would do when the spring stopped looking like the one I've always known. With winter not being wintry and April already bringing the summer in, I wondered whether I would lose spring as a surge of energy, because that spring would have looked different and not authentic, becoming blurry. I thought I wouldn't be able to find myself comfortable in the Spanish spring, that it wouldn't be the same, that I wouldn't feel the spirit of change that always accompanied me during the same time in Poland. And then spring came, Andalusian spring. Spring also brought something else. Crowds of tourists appeared in the city, and the streets filled with the international hustle and bustle. Sometimes I would get tired of it and spend the weekend afternoons at home. I enjoy being part of the crowd, but I can also get overwhelmed easily. Then I truly appreciate my time in the apartment with the view. Spring also includes my birthday month. and I received the most wonderful gift from my husband this year. It allowed me to remember how important it is to dedicate time to things for the pure pleasure of doing them, without thinking about any goal, without focusing on the results, just being here and now for a moment. This is also what my spring energy is about, feeling alive. I feel like something has changed in me because until now I treated my birthday as a balance sheet of what I've achieved, what I didn't get to, where I should be at my age. And this year I just woke up and it didn't really matter to me how old I was. I didn't hear this quiet pressure whispering to my ear, "You're too old, you're running out of time, you're not gonna be able to achieve or to do all the things you've wanted." No, nothing at all. And it feels so good. And I believe that nurturing my inner child helps me to feel young all the time. Spring was to me also about other small pleasures, like going to the local market to shop for dinner. I love wandering around the aisles, observing all the goodies. I could spend hours browsing, choosing. This time we bought only tomatoes, as we were planning to make the simplest yet most delicious dinner at home. We made pasta using a recipe my Italian husband taught me. When we cook a dish that's fed as national pride, we have a clear division of responsibilities. I prepare the ingredients, he handles everything else. And as I look at him, I think to myself, I would have never believed my life would turn out this way. That one day we would be cooking Italian in a Spanish kitchen. But I know it was meant to be. Almost 10 years ago, I was supposed to meet this man. And if it weren't for my friend, the right place, and the Sherpa guy from Nepal, we probably wouldn't be together. I love these long spring afternoons because even though it's late, I could still take my husband for a picnic with a view to one of my favorite spots. But I'm still not much fond of it, and I don't quite understand why. Maybe it's the demanding route up the hill, maybe huge amount of ants, or maybe I just don't need to understand it, but accept it and try not to impose what I love. Late spring is for me also about first times. As the mornings became super warm and pleasant, we've started to go running. It is a huge surprise to me as I've never been such a fan of this sport. Actually, I hated it. And now, together with Fede, we have this ritual that we wake up early morning. I mean, early for us. We go for a run and then we jump into the ice cold water as we've also started the swimming pool season. And it feels so good. It's like an ice bath in the morning. And I hope we're going to keep going this ritual as long as possible because we're starting our day with this fresh, good energy. But honestly, I would have never thought that I could run in the morning or ice bathing. Who's that girl? In the spring, we've also finally started fully enjoying living by the sea. The water was still cold, about 17 degrees, enough to try and enough to swear at the whole Mediterranean Sea. I entered the water for the first time at the beginning of May. I stayed in there for no longer than a minute and came out shivering. Today, I am able to endure it longer and even enjoy it. And that's a sign that spring's behind me. Spring that taught me an important lesson. That I don't have to chase what feels familiar and secure, but embrace the new. It can be the season that looks different than the one I've already known, or waking up to new habits that always seemed uncomfortable. That every change can be good as long as I accept it.